So about external client apps, which are the next generation of connected apps, right? So external client apps are Salesforce modern replacement for connected apps. They are designed for today's world of multi-org deployments, second generation packing, and stronger security controls. So if you have a connected app, it would still work for now, but Salesforce is not allowing you to create a new connected app, and it is giving Salesforce is giving options to convert the existing connected apps to external client apps. Uh, ex Connected apps weren't built for modern DevOps or large scale integrations, which is why it was required to create for Salesforce to create an external client app. So we have two types of external client apps. One is local and one is packageable. So local is what you create for your org, and packageable is like for ISVs, like to package, contain it in their second generation package, and like add so that the subscriber can install that, and they can use the app. So packageable ECAs are the important ones. They can be included in second generation packages deployed to multiple orgs with consistent configuration. Um, so thirdly, like what's the why ECAs are better, right? External clients app are better. So connected apps are org bound, if I say. So like each connected app has its own version, its own keys, and its own settings. This leads to inconsistent behavior, and like if you have a CI/CD pipeline, like it's a pain. So let's say that ISV has to like some like subscriber is like installing a package. So while installing a connected app, it used to take a lot of time. But with ECA, like the deployment time has been reduced as well. So this is also one of the advantage. And ECA has modern metadata structure, so which is also one advantage. And uh, as I mentioned earlier, Salesforce recommends using external client apps over connected app for most of the new integrations. And you can use the Salesforce out of the box migrate connected app to ECA. For migrating the connected app to external client app. We can go to the next slide. So yeah, advantages or the requirements for external client apps is like we need like connected apps were not built for packaging and getting deployed to orgs. So connected apps were like built for like staying in the main org, and the subscribe and using the consumer key. Like other orgs can install the connected app in their org. So so like packaging wise, ECAs are better. ECA gives you better security. You can only use an external client app if it's installed in your org. So with connected apps, the major problem was connected app is like hosted on another org, and even though you don't install it in your org, like you were able to use it, but unless you install the connected app, you were not able to manage its policies. So which was a disadvantage. I'll when we'll go to the demo, I'll show you as well, like what I'm trying to say on the on that. So so ECA gives us a better security, and ECA is fully metadata compliant. So a connected app can be ECA is optimized for source-driven development on Scratch orgs, and maintain a clean separation between proprietary developer settings and admin-defined policies. So within if you see the page for connected apps versus the external client apps, the developer settings and the admin related policies which admin needs to handle, they were not properly segregated. So with the introduction of ECA, so that has been like improved, and ECA is fully metadata compliant. Uh, and it's fit to summarize, like ECAs fit naturally into the DevOps pipeline. They keep developer intent separate from admin policy, and ECAs are perfect for scalable enterprise governance. So yeah, we can go to the next slide. I think next slide is demo. Yes, demo time. So
This is my favorite part. Let me stop sharing. Get to you.
awesome. I'll share my screen.
Yes.
Hope my screen is visible.
Let's see. Yep, we see the slides now. Oh,
Awesome.
there we go.
So I'm in my org. So firstly, what I'll do is I'll show you how you can create an external client app. So search for external, click on external client app manager, and you have an option here to create a new external client app. Or the second way is just in the quick find type app manager and click on app manager, and you have an option here to create a new external client app apart from new lightning app. Prior like in the earlier versions of Salesforce releases, you used to get new connected app, but I think Salesforce has removed that and you can only create a external client app now. So maybe I'll show you how we create it. So I'll just name it uh, session easy protect. So I'll just do the contact email. And this is what I was talking about. So an external client app can be local or packaged. I'll create a local, but if you are a ISV and you want it to be installed in the other org, you can create a packageable version of it. Um, then we have different settings here. We have OAuth, we have SAML, and we have mobile app settings and etc. So I'll enable OAuth, and while enabling OAuth, I have all these options. Firstly, I have the callback. So callback is mostly used for the web server flow. As I was mentioning, in the web server flow, we have two steps. The step number one is getting the authorization code. So for authorization code, you need to log into your org. So after you log in, you need to basically the callback URL is used to handle that. So since we will be implementing client credentials flow, this app I'll be using for client credentials flow. So I can give it the Salesforce URL for now, because like we are implementing the OAuth client credentials flow. But if you would be implementing web server flow, you need to get the callback URL from the other third party app, which would be the identity provider, and like add it here. I'll give this permission that manage user data by API. So this is one of so these OAuth scopes are by default provided by Salesforce. We need to be careful which OAuth scope we are providing access to, because like if let's say it gets into wrong hands and we have not considered if we have provided more access than needed, then it can cause an issue. So I'll give this permission, and I think I think this maybe I'll give this one as well. Perform requests at any time. I'll select this introspect all tokens. So this is used like all the tokens that are generated by this connected app. We can introspect later. So we need to enable the client credential flow. So it says that anyone with the consumer key, consumer secret can access your org on behalf. Okay. So yep, that is it. I'll just click on save. I think this Zoom toolbar is getting in between. Yes, sorry. I'll just click on create. Okay. Sorry, I need to give HTTPS. So we have created the external client app and it's in enable state. So when I mentioned that developer related settings and admin related policies are segregated, this is what I meant. So policies is just for the admin. You can click here and you'll be able to see admin. One option here is all users are self-authorized, which means that all like any of the user which will try to use this connected app can authorize, but we can click on edit and we can even change this setting, like admin approved users are should be approved only. So when I select this option, I get the profiles, which all profiles or which all permission sets can access this. So basically the good practice is like select this option, select a permission set or a profile, and only though that specific users can access this connected app. So for demo purpose, I'll just click on all users can self-authorize. And then I can click on enable client credentials flow. I need to give the username here. Although user is explicitly not involved in client credentials flow, but on the Salesforce side, you need someone through which this flow will run, right? So ideally, this user should have the API only permission, and like API only permission basically will not let the user log in ever, or he'll just be able to access Salesforce using APIs, not through direct UI login. But we can also give a system admin here for demo perspective. I also have options here to enforce the IP, and then I have an option here to create custom attributes. So I think all looks good. I'll click on save. Now I'll just quickly show the settings as well. So this is the setting. This is the local external client app that I created. This is the OAuth settings. If I click here, it will send me a verification code. After I enter that, I can see the consumer key and the consumer secret. Then these settings, since I did not check, this will be empty. And finally, we have the package defaults. This is if you had created a packageable external client app. Now, maybe what I'll do is I'll click on external client app. So this external client app I had created prior to this session. So I already have the consumer key, consumer secret for it, and I have already created the postman request for it. Now, what I'll do is since I mentioned I'll be using client credentials, I have given the client ID, client secret as a body. It's a post request. I'll click on send, and boom, I have the access token. So once you have the access token, you can further make the calls using it. Just append the authorization header and add bearer space this access token so that you will be able to make further requests into Salesforce. Once, let's say I did this request, right? So what I'll do is I'll go back and I need to monitor, like, oh, let's say some third party has the credentials. Now, how will you monitor? So what you need to do is just search for external apps. We have this OAuth usage here. So once you click here, select the app for which you need to get the insights. I gave the consumer key and the consumer secret for the session. So I'll click on session. Uh, uh, I'll just go back. I need to click on the arrow and view usage. So it says that I logged in at this time and I last used this. So it is also giving me an option to revoke. So if you want this user like access to be revoked for the connected app, you can do that. Second way is just go to the user. Since if you remember, we configured this user in our client credentials flow. So if I click on login history, we can see that there was a OAuth client credentials login subtype done, right? And if I go back, I'll also have an option for OAuth apps. So you can see OAuth apps. this OAuth app like has the access for this user has the access for this OAuth apps, and I can even revoke it from here if I want. So these are just few tips and tricks just to monitor the usage. Now, eh, like if you are a developer, I'll just quickly show you like how the settings are bifurcated here. So this is I'm on a VS Code, and this is how the SFDX project looks like, and I've already imported the metadata here. So if you want to deploy this external client app to some other org, there Salesforce has, as I was mentioning, like Salesforce has given good, well-distributed metadata for the external client apps. So we have metadata number one is this. Then if I go here, this is having the consumer key and all the related settings. This is the global OAuth sets, and then this is the OAuth policies. Uh, then we have the OAuth settings, and then finally we have the app policies for the external client app. So, and if I show you for a connected app, how it looks. So this is one connected app that is also present in this org. So like all the settings are only we have single metadata first of all, and all the settings are put in this. So it's not well segregated. And if you want to deploy a connected app, you first of all change sets. Change sets does not provide an option to deploy the connected app. You'll if you want to deploy it using SFDX, you'll be able to deploy it, but like let's say you need to remove consumer key here, because if you try to deploy it, it will just give you duplicate consumer key error. And consumer key is kind of like a unique ID that determines the connected app. So every time you deploy the connected app, it will generate a new consumer key and subsequent consumer secret. So yeah, so this was the demo on the external client apps. So I'll stop sharing the screen, and I think we can quickly jump to the last slide. And
Yeah.
before we jump to the last slide, we also have Matt. I see we also have Matt. Yeah. Hey, Matt.
Hey, how's it going? Yeah, so sorry, I had some multitudes of technology issues today, but I'm glad you guys were able to get going without me.
We got you. Glad you're here. We want to make sure that we just keep this going, and then we're going to have Matt facilitate for Q&A. Let me get back. There we are. Okay. All right. Can you see my screen okay?
Yep.
Yes. Can we move to the next slide?
I got you.
Yep. It looks like we do have
Okay.
one question really quick, if you don't mind. It
Sure.
says, how important is it to upgrade or migrate from a connected app implementation to an external client app? Simon Fraser's asking.
Okay. I can answer that. Actually, I think it's you still have time, but eventually Salesforce has stopped giving any new advancements to connected apps, and Salesforce has told that like Salesforce is recommending to migrate to external client apps. So firstly, like you'll not get any new features if you still are using connected apps. And some of the advantages and security advancements that you get with the external client apps, you'll miss out on that. So I would say like in the future, eventually like Salesforce will force migrate, but till for now, we still have time. So I'd say I'd say it's like if you have the option, better to migrate to external client apps.
Yep, and kind of also like you called out on your slide here, which you're about to cover, I'm sure, is about how it has full support for second generation managed packages, where today it does not if you're just trying to use connected apps. And I think that's for
Right.
ISV vendors like ourselves, that's like a big, I think a big bonus and reason you'd want to use that.
Right.
All right, let's get into
Awesome.
it. Back to you, Samar.
Awesome. So about this slide, right? This I have picked it up from the documentation. So what's the major differences we see in the connected apps and the external client apps? So I remember I also created one video on external client apps last year. So at that time, SAML was not supported for external client apps, but I see it's supported now. And I think Salesforce is working on bringing the new enhancements for external client apps. Few apart from what's shown in the slide, external client apps are missing some of the capability. For example, dynamic client registration. So let's say when you set up the SSO, you use SAML. So you can set up dynamic user creation, and that option you had in connected apps. But for external client apps, that is still pending. So I read somewhere that Salesforce will be giving out releases on that part. Other difference that includes is like external client apps does not support all the OAuth flows. So all the weak security, I'd say, username, password, other flows, so they have been deprecated, and you don't have an option to use them in the external client apps. Packaging wise, if you are an ISV developer, then external client apps are like super useful for you. Metadata is segregated very well. Connected app did not had good support for the metadata API. And like as I mentioned earlier, like connect external client apps had clear developer and admin roles. Policy like admin policies were particularly defined, and developer settings were defined. In connected app, it was just one full hodgepodge. So yep. I think we can go to the